The Thai cabinet is concerned over the Ukraine fallout, the claw machine in Thailand can be unbanned, and a suspect is arrested over the murder of Jimi Sandu. Those are all stories coming up on today's Good Morning Thailand. Good morning, Thailand. Welcome to the show with Tim Newton and Jay.
Hi.
Welcome,
Good to be
everyone.
here.
Welcome, everyone. How are you?
Well, I was going to say I'm back. Mondays, basically, I won't be here.
Yes.
And you've got Natty to contend with.
Yes.
I hope you behaved yourself.
Yes. How do you feel today, Tim?
Fine.
All right.
Ready and raring to go.
Ready and raring to go. Now, we've got a lot of topics to talk about today, but mainly a topic we can't ignore involving Russia and Ukraine. Now, the first topic I have today, Tim, is regarding the fallout from that Ukraine has on and the Thai cabinet on how they're going to respond to this ongoing situation. Before we get started, you wanted to say something?
Well, I was just going to say that generally, we're not going to be covering what's happening in Ukraine at the moment, specifically because there are news outlets that have got people on the go there. They've got
foreign correspondents, live.
Satellites. They've got people there with their phones, and they're doing much better coverage than we could even contemplate. So we can't possibly compete with that. However, we'll give some dimensions about how it will perhaps affect people, and that's about the best we can do. I should also say that the way that this is being covered, some people are calling it the TikTok war, which is a bit superfluous, but really what they're saying is that this is happening sort of pretty much in real time, with or without journalists on the site, because ordinary Ukrainians, even Russian soldiers, are flashing what's happening live to a global audience on social media. And this has never really happened before to this extent in any conflict. Certainly when we were having the Iraq war some 20 years ago, you were getting a lot of internet coverage, but now we're getting people pretty much turning their phones on and live streaming the situation that's happening. So this is a very interesting dynamic. And just the other thing I suppose I was going to say, Jay, before we move on, is just if you were Vladimir Putin today, you'd be looking and saying, day 5, and we still haven't taken any cities in Ukraine. It's not going particularly well.
Yes.
I think that's what you'd be thinking.
Yeah.
And whilst things aren't going particularly well for Russia in their invasion, whatever their plans may be, they've got the whole world economy encircling Russia and basically making it almost impossible for them to trade with the rest of the world. So the longer this goes, the harder it's going to be for Russia to keep advancing and pursuing whatever its plans are, whilst the rest of the world is just closing in around them. Notice today that there isn't a flight arriving, the Aeroflot, the daily Aeroflot flight from Moscow didn't arrive in Phuket today.
Yes, it didn't.
I note with interest.
He probably thought he'd just walk in, but day 5 and looking at the sanctions, looking at the universal support for Ukraine and how the Ukrainian people are defending themselves is absolutely, it's good to see. I mean,
well, yeah, I'm not going to, or nor is the Thaiger going to express favouring one side or the other. That's not our job. We're here to basically just to present the news and give the information, I suppose, a bit of perspective as well, certainly when it has interest in Thailand. So the cabinet are actually saying they're worried now. Last week they weren't worried, now they are.
Now they're going to have a meeting today chaired by the Prime Minister himself, and the government is expected to introduce economic measures to deal with the fallout of Russia's invasion to Ukraine. And specifically they're going to be looking at things like the global energy prices as the cabinet has a proper meeting today for the first time.
I think energy prices are going to be something that we're going to see going up quite steeply. The crude oil price now has pushed over, I think last week it pushed over 100. They may have dipped below that the last couple of days, but I recall around about a year ago, the crude oil price was about $36 a barrel, so nearly triple that now. So don't tell me that's not going to be affecting our petrol pump costs.
It's also the fuel stocks. They're going to try to boost and increase the amount of fuel stocks they have in the country in case the situation starts to get worse.
Yeah, Thailand certainly has got a lot of its own reserves when it comes to oil and stuff. But the pricing is set by international trends, so Thailand will still have to bear the brunt when it comes to those sort of costs.
Yes.
Carmel. Hello, Carmel. Good morning.
Good morning. David asked, what is going to happen to all the Russians that are here in Thailand who can't go back home? Their money will become worthless.
Yeah, well, that's really interesting because I noted that the ruble had dropped some 30% over the past 2 or 3 weeks compared to the Thai baht. I'm not sure about other denominations, but certainly just with the Thai baht, it means that Russians who are here and their flights, the planes aren't arriving from Russia anymore. I think there was only one flight coming in from Russia today on Ural Airlines. I didn't even know there was an airline called Ural Airlines, but I did check. And it comes from, I can't even remember the name of the city, but it's like well into Siberia, just north of Mongolia. So it's pretty remote. And I think if I was there, I'd enjoy coming to Thailand. But obviously immigration are going to have to give these people some sort of emergency extension. And you're right, their ruble, as you said, Carmel, is not going to be worth very much.
Yep. And I was hearing stories about, like, for certain Russians, they're definitely going to be finding it difficult to get money to Thailand as well. Whoever's got money saved in Russia, I mean, they must be in panic. They must be like, oh, let me get my money out. What if it drops further down? Currency exchange. What are they going to do?
Well, of course, some banks are now they're getting their SWIFT code cut off. Not all banks.
Not the main bank, not yet.
But that will actually stop a lot of international transfers happening anyway. So just running down to your Western Union office and picking up some cash won't be happening quite as easily as it used to be.
Yep.
As I said, the longer this goes, no matter how difficult it may be to penetrate into Ukraine and fulfill whatever his plans are, the president of Russia really has to look at the sanctions and their effect on the people of Russia.
Yes. Including the price of energy in the meeting they have today. They're also going to be discussing things like the stock market, currency exchange, and trade and investments. Carmel, question?
Yes, this is from our member Wayne. He asked, has Thailand condemned Russia's invasion of the Ukraine?
No, they haven't said anything of that sort. They haven't taken a side. They haven't really commented on the war itself.
Well,
Not the war, sorry, the invasion.
I wrote an article on the weekend on the Thaiger.com about the various rather pathetic responses from
ASEAN.
From the ASEAN, all the way from Singapore, which was pretty much outright condemning the situation, and they've gone further today, a story which we'll cover in Asia News Today, all the way to Myanmar, who said, basically supported Russia's ability and its plans to invade a sovereign state. So there's quite a lot of difference there in the opinions of the 10 ASEAN countries. Japan, South Korea and Australia from the sort of Asia-Pacific region have fallen in line with the US and condemned the invasion into Ukraine by Russia.
It would be hilarious if Myanmar commented, oh, this is wrong. I mean, it's expected for them to reply that way.
The main supply of arms into Myanmar for the Myanmar military is Russia. So they're not going to be biting the hand that feeds them. Yeah, but interestingly, Thailand has not officially said anything yet. Carmel.
This is a comment from Chocolate Man in Thailand, and he said that I find it so strange that so many are concerned what Thailand's stance is on an invasion so far away. Let's just enjoy the kingdom.
Yeah, well, that's a really good point. We are, of course, a long way from what's happening, and whilst we can have a lot of empathy and sorrow for the situation in Ukraine, and we can watch it along with everybody else and follow the news, the direct impact, obviously, here in Thailand is not as much as other countries, and obviously we hope that this ends swiftly because we don't want to see any more loss of life. And the situation is not going to end well for anybody. There's no winners out of this.
Yes. Well, since we're in Thailand, let's focus on Thailand and Ukraine. In particular, Thai people who have evacuated Ukraine and are currently finding shelter and safety in Warsaw and Bucharest, they will be deported on a Thai Airways flight back to Thailand today. And once they've arrived in Thailand, they will be transferred to Sattahip. Most of these people are already double vaccinated, so they'll only have 1 day of quarantine. And then they'll be able to go back to their families in Thailand. Now, there are still some people who are still in the capital of Kyiv, as well as Kharkiv. And the embassies, they have been consulting these people and contacting their employers on how to remove them. However, the situation currently is still unsafe for them to be driven out of the capital city and Kharkiv. So they're taking advice and they're laying low for the moment until the situation does improve on the ground, where they can be deported out of the city and eventually back into Thailand.
Yes, so good to have those Thai citizens back into Thailand ASAP. Nice to see one of the Thai Airways planes actually being used.
Yes. You know what else is nice to see? Now, Ukrainians and Russians who currently live in Thailand, now in particular I'm going to be talking about Phuket, they've actually come together and held a rally and called for peace. Now, over 80 Ukrainians and Russian tourists, expats who live on the island, they went by the roadside, especially in front of Royal Phuket Marina, which is near Kokeo area.
Why?
With signs and national flags.
I know
To
that
show
area.
solidarity.
Yeah, I know. I know that area pretty well,
Yes.
as you know.
Not very Russian or Ukrainian.
No, and why on earth did they hold it outside the Royal Phuket Marina?
Because everybody needs to go past there to
Okay,
go
so
to the airport.
if you are on Kasatri Road, the
Yeah.
main thoroughfare. And then they're also outside the Russian embassy.
That's right, a smaller group.
The
of
Russian
tourists.
consulate, sorry.
Yeah.
Understand. And then they also had a small gathering in Patong.
Yes, they did. The rally ended at around 10:30 a.m. But yes, they took this moment to come together and show their support for each other and basically to condemn the invasion. And yeah, that's it. That's a quick update regarding the current expats and the feelings of people who are living in Thailand. Let's move on to the next story,
Sure.
which is actually regarding Jimi Sandhu. Now, I believe Natty did update this on Thailand News Update, but a quick update to the viewers watching Good Morning Thailand as well. A suspect in the Jimi Sandu murder case was arrested in Canada, and a request for his return to Thailand has been submitted. For those of you who are unaware, this is regarding the case of an Indian gangster who was deported from Canada, came late January to Phuket, and was murdered by 2 gunmen who related to the Canadian gangs.
Yeah, some big gang activity around the British Columbia area, which Jimi Sandu was involved in for many years.
Yes.
Even though he was an Indian-born, he was living in Canada and became involved in the gangs. He came to an untimely end, I think, on February the 4th,
Yes.
which was a Friday night around about 10:30. And there's still a lot of questions about exactly what happened,
Yes.
given that apparently the shooting happened, some 20 bullets were volleyed into his body around about 10:30, but his body wasn't found until 6 a.m. the next morning by a maid. Just thinking that 20 gunshots would make quite a noise. And obviously,
And no one was apparently living in that place.
yeah, well, it's actually a complex of a whole lot of villas, but
Yeah.
maybe the other ones were not. There were other cars in the garages, so I'm not sure what happened.
Yes,
That's
well,
another
yeah.
issue, but at least one of the suspects has now been arrested.
That is Matthew Dupre from Canada, allegedly one of the 2 hitmen who fired multiple shots at Sandhu outside a villa in Phuket. He was arrested in Edmonton, Alberta on February 20th. And yes, Thai authorities are
My birthday.
Yes, it was your birthday.
It was
Uh,
completely coincidental.
do the people know? Did we celebrate your birthday on camera?
No, we don't need to do that.
Well, it's too late now. It's March the 1st.
Yes.
Anyways.
You could do it early for next year. Did you think about that?
Yes. That's like celebrating Christmas. You can always look forward to Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, it's time to take a quick break. Once we come back from the break, we're going to be...
Can I ask you, before
Yes.
you go on, do you think he will end up back in Thailand, standing trial?
Ooh. It's going to take a while. I
Yeah,
think it's gonna
there's
take
got to be
while.
a few court cases, and
I'm surprised he was caught.
well,
I don't know. He was caught within 3 days. I believe the Thai authorities they got in contact with Interpol, arrest
Issued a
warrant,
red notice.
red notice, and then a warrant was issued on the 18th, and he was captured on the 20th. I'm like, he's a really bad gangster. I mean, like, no offense. I mean, offense.
not a real.
He's a gangster. I don't care. But what I mean is, he
Bad, but
flew
not
to
very good.
Phuket, killed someone. The clothes that he was wearing, when he's clearly not a professional. And then he gets caught in 2 days. What kind of a gangster is he?
I like the
I'm
hit
glad he
job.
was captured, by
Yes.
the way, and I hope he gets to face strong charges for murder, and what he did was absolutely horrible.
He was wearing a white hoodie,
Yeah, but at the same
beige-coloured
time,
shorts, and flip-flops.
he clearly doesn't know what he's doing.
This is not sort of the usual attire of gangsters. Anyway, he is currently in custody, being questioned, and there's going to be long court proceedings where the Thai government or Thai police are going to have to prove that he should be sent back to... so it's sort of a bit of a de facto trial for his extradition. Okay, interesting one.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. Once we come back from the break, we're going to be talking about the poll. If you haven't answered it yet, please go to the community section and answer our poll. We're going to be talking about Thai Airways, good old Thai Airways, as well as a ban on claw machines. Did you know that the claw machine that kids play that opens up and gets a soft toy, that's actually banned in Thailand due to gambling of all reasons?
It's the craw, not the craw.
Right, all those stories coming up after the break. We'll be right back. Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Good Morning Thailand, sponsored by Coffee Culture.
I'm going to put these right up front because they're well worth seeing.
That's right. You can visit Coffee Culture for your daily coffee dose, and you can buy tasting packs before you invest in bigger ones.
Carmel, 2 messages.
No. She's reminding.
She's saying peace.
She thought I forgot about the 2-minute video. I have not.
Oh, right.
Fear not.
Oh, she was going like this. Oh, she's
No.
got 2 messages.
Yeah, as well as Twin Palms Residences Montezor. Thank you for sponsoring the show.
Montezur, that is a magnificent property on Kamala Beach.
That's right. So if you'd like to own a piece of paradise, this is your chance. You don't always get to own a piece of paradise, but here's your chance. Now it's time for 2-Minute Thailand that I have been reminded from Carmel because she thought I forgot, and she was furious in the background.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Don't cross
She
Carmel.
gave me the eyes. You know when those old women give you those eyes, it's like, you're just like... Anyways.
She is an old woman.
Yeah, she's 64?
I think she's 84.
Okay.
Officially.
Okay, officially, on paper. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for 2-Minute Thailand. This is where you get to learn little aspects about Thailand and Thai culture
What's
from
it about
Nan.
today?
Excellent question. I forgot. The thing, you know what weird is, like, she makes it. I have to watch it. I have to approve it. I know exactly what it's all about. But come the next morning, I forget what it's all about.
We're about to find out.
We're about to
Together.
find out. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. So here's 2 minutes. It's about Y Crew. Got him. Ladies and gentlemen, watch your 2-minute Thailand video now.
Have you ever seen these ceremonies in Thailand before? Can you guess what this ceremony is? Today, I will explain you about this. This ceremony is on One Wai Kru or Teachers Appreciate Day, where students show respect to their teachers. They not only thank their teachers for teaching them well, but also gain merit and good fortune for their future. Wai Kru has long been an important ceremony in the traditional martial and performing arts in Thailand. For example, Muay Thai will usually perform a Wai Kru ritual in the initiation before performances to pay respect and homage to both the teachers and the deities who patronize the arts. This led to the idea of Wai Kru Day in school originated by Plek Pibun Songkram, the Prime Minister of Thailand at that time. And the first Teacher Day event was held on January 16, 1957. The students will help each other to arrange a flower tray for the white crew ceremony, in which the children crawl up to the teachers on their knees, heads down, and present them with the flower tray they made with candles and incense. After that, teachers will bless their students with good luck. Although the traditional flower trays are like these pictures, we can see training flower trays every year from Thai students' creations too. Which one do you prefer between the traditional or trendy flower tray? Please let us know.
Welcome back to Good Morning Thailand. That was 2 Minutes Thailand, and now you've learned about the White Crew ceremony, which is also the Teachers Appreciation Day. Now, you were making noises throughout that entire video because you've got your own opinions on, Teacher Appreciation Day and how draconian it is. That's your favorite word. Oh my God, it's so draconian.
My feelings is that it's basically child abuse.
What?
Having to put children through this ceremony.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've done a couple of articles on the Thaiger about this in the past.
Yeah.
And I mean, what we saw was quite nice with the floral tributes and all that's fine. But when you start getting children expected, or in some cases required, to grovel in front of the teacher, prostrate, then that's just not on. That's not civil. That's not going to do anything for the children. I mean, if teachers have to demand respect from their students by getting them to grovel in front of them, I just don't think that's on. I don't think that's civil or useful. But that's my opinion as a foreigner. Now, for the Thais, if they want to continue the tradition, it's entirely up to them, of course.
I can tell you had a great relationship with your teachers.
Well, I mean, I did have a good relationship with my teachers. I mean, without teachers, you are pretty much on the same level, and you respect them. You call them sir.
Yeah.
Carmel.
Tim, I'm going to need you to confirm this. The robo said in Australia the kids would make a cake and throw it in the teacher's face?
No. There's a very different from bowing down and kowtowing to a teacher and showing them respect. I mean, I used to respect my teachers, some teachers more than others, and I'd never throw a cake at them. But if I had the cake and I was required to bow down in front of my teachers, well, that just wouldn't have happened. Yeah. I would have given them the cake and I would have stood eye to eye with them and said, here's your cake.
Well, it's a flower arrangement, so some kids actually become creative and they express their feelings through the flower arrangement. So you can actually make a tank out of flowers and give it to your teacher.
Yeah, there you go.
I feel like you'd be one of those students. Like, here's a tank, I want to blow you up.
Mine might have the fingers expressed with a certain digit pointing skyward. Look, I understand this is part of Thai culture. There was a Prime Minister that came up with this years ago. And I think making a floral offering or having prayers or offering some sort of respect to your teachers is fine. I put the line at grovelling in front of them. I just don't think that sends any good messages.
This is a classic example of a white, privileged foreigner man in Thailand disrespecting the Thai culture. No.
Well, I don't think this has been a manufactured part of Thai culture.
I think, yeah.
And there's a lot of, trying to get the students to do what they're told and to understand that the teachers are above them as far as the pyramid of respect is concerned.
I think the idea is good. I agree with your perception that making a student grovel on the ground, get down on the knees and basically touch the teacher's feet is, because they are in a way expected or forced, that's not cool. I think it should be a choice. For example, it's Teacher Appreciation Day. Tim's my favorite teacher. Here's a flower arrangement I made for you because I think you're a cool teacher.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for teaching me. And I think that's how it should be.
And I'd be standing up with the students standing up and I'd be accepting it, looking them in the eye and saying, thank you, I appreciate that. Now,
and then you chat, Australia.
The difference is that unfortunately, I've seen lots and lots of photos of the kids grovelling down in front of the teachers, like in front of them. And there wasn't that many shots of that sort of situation on the video. A very good video, by the way, Nan. Thank you very much. And also just another little slice of Thailand. And whether I like it or not, I mean, the Thais couldn't care less. But I just find it really uncomfortable to see children expected to behave like that in front of their teachers.
All right.
In my country, you used to have to earn respect, not demand it.
I'd like to give a quick shout out to Mark, New Mexico Samui, and Nebula37. Thank you for being Thaiger members. We appreciate your love and support.
What was the first guy's name?
Mark.
Mark?
New Mexico / Samui. So it's from
Wow.
New Mexico, USA, I'm guessing.
And he's now living in Samui.
Yeah.
Well, if that's the situation, Mark, thank you very much for becoming involved, helping the Thaiger pay for these outrageous shirts and nice microphones.
All right. It's time for the poll, Tim.
The poll.
Let me refresh. We've got around 565 votes, and today's question was regarding Thai Airways. Now,
Which we'll have to talk about later.
that's right.
Can't believe it.
Thai Airways have posted a 20 billion baht loss. Their
Really?
their 14th such year of consecutive losses for an accumulated debt of 232 billion baht.
How much was that, Jay?
232 billion baht.
That is a lot of money, a lot of debt.
With most of their fleet on the ground, what are the prospects for Thailand's former national airline? The Thai government sold its final majority shares in September last year. Now, from the choices given, the most popular answer was Thai Airways is operating on borrowed time, ripe for a sale. 41% of you
Wow,
said
that is interesting. I didn't think we'd get so many votes for that particular option.
21% of you said the Thai government should help keep Thai Airways alive, as it is still considered as a national airline.
Although, as we mentioned in the introduction, that the Thai government sold its majority shareholding, so it's not required to put their pockets in taxpayers, put their hand in taxpayers' pockets anymore and bail out this failed airline.
17% of you said Thai Airways has been dropping in quality for the past 2 decades, and 11% each for the last 2 answers, which are Thai Airways is a victim of COVID pandemic. I don't think so. Thai Airways will rise from the ashes as soon as things improve.
Well,
That's very optimistic,
and there'd be
even
a
for
lo-
a person like me.
A lot of people would be sort of saying, all of the above as well. I think things will improve for Thai Airways once the pandemic moves past.
Saudi Arabia, it's been planned. I can see it happening. The oil money is coming.
Well, the flights coming out of Riyadh are a Saudi airline, not Thai Airways.
Yes.
I think, Thai Airways was in a perilous position before COVID even came along. As I keep on saying, I arrive at Suvarnabhumi Airport every week. I depart from Suvarnabhumi Airport every week, and there are just acres of Thai Airways planes just lined up there, gathering dust. There are fewer there these days. I think they've got some of them up and moving again, and they've reintroduced flights into parts of Europe. That's going to be interrupted with what's happening in Ukraine at the moment. But this airline making another over 20 billion baht loss in the last year, even though they've reduced their staff numbers by 2/3. They've made a huge amount of cuts to the original business. They've sold planes. They're still making huge losses. So how long can this just keep going? I mean, who's going to bail them out?
MBS.
Well, somebody's going to...
The Saudis are coming, the influx of cash.
Somebody will have to throw money at them because they can't operate like this, especially if the Thai government's not bailing them out anymore.
Middle East doesn't only want to buy football teams, perhaps airlines as well. It's possible. Right, our last topic for today, Tim, is regarding the claw machine.
The craw.
I don't get that joke. What is it about?
Type Get Smart, the craw.
I have seen Get Smart, but
Get Smart, the craw, and you'll see a YouTube clip. I'm sure it'll...
is this the old Get Smart?
Oh, the old Get Smart. And it's terribly, terribly racist, I'm afraid. The sort of things that you used to be able to get away with in 1960s TV, but you can't get away with now.
Oh, I thought you were talking the one with Steve Carell.
No. The original Get Smart.
Oh.
Anyway, you are talking about these machines that come down and you are trying to steer them to grab a tiger or a furry animal or
an iPhone in some countries. Did you
Really?
know? Yeah. Some in some they've become quite creative now. You can sometimes get iPhone machines. You can get soft toys. They have different styles of claws. Now I'm starting to say claw. They've got different styles of claws. Like this is the traditional one, but then they have like more solid ones that like you can go under and like try to hook onto it or like pick up a phone and stuff like that. But anyways, did you know those machines are banned in Thailand?
Well, I was aware there was some conjecture with them. People saw them as... it is sort of gambling because those machines are designed not to pick up those objects, and they're all basically based on risk, and the machine's always going to win. And it's going to deal out a few winners from time to time, which make people think, oh, I can win.
Yes.
But the odds are against you. So I think they are probably gambling.
But what does that have to be? I mean, so is it because the machine is unfair, or is it because people are actually making bets on whether you're going to get the soft toy or not?
I think you probably think you have a certain amount of control and skill. I don't think that's the case. I think that the whole thing's designed to not pick up the toy when it doesn't want to pick up the toy.
But that's life. We can use that example on anything. Why do banks exist?
I believe it's gambling. Before we move on, Carmel?
There's a comment from Kay Samui. It said that I worked for a guy that was a gambling addict. He was addicted to those claw machines, and when we cleaned out his warehouse, he had thousands and thousands of stuffed animals.
Wow.
Well, this is a funny thing. If you're going to gamble, you're probably better off going to a casino and betting on the red than trying to win soft toys. I mean, even if you win lots of soft toys, it's not really going to make you happy. Maybe it does make him happy.
All right. Well, anyways,
I don't get it. Unless there's money inside the soft toys or drugs or something.
Well, the story is regarding basically a company in Chiang Mai had a lawsuit on it regarding these claw machines. These machines were seized and a lot of cash was seized, and they were saying, no, this is illegal. However, a court has now actually... the prosecutors have actually dismissed this case and said that no, they were operating within rules. This is not gambling. Therefore, they've dismissed the case, which means that we could see a change in this ban and this ruling that all these machines are considered gambling, because now there's a precedent set for actually having these machines and running a business that operates using these machines in Thailand.
I will feel so much better waking up tomorrow morning knowing that claw machines are now legal.
If they have an issue with gambling, they need to stop the lottery and everything.
Yes, sure.
Seriously.
Have the bi-monthly lottery.
The obsession with lotteries in Thailand.
I think the issue is they have to prove that there is a greater or lesser skill involved with manipulating the claw. I think that's what it will come down to in the court case.
Just sounds like a bad, scary movie.
The claw.
Psycho thriller, The Claw.
The claw.
I bet there is a movie called The Claw.
It probably is.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to answer some of your questions from all of the stories that we've spoken about today. You can also ask us questions, any question you like, either to Tim, me, Carmel, Num. No one's off the hooks.
We sold about 20 of these last week.
We have.
The ones that are signed, hand signed by you, me, Jet, and Natty.
That's right.
They're selling like hotcakes, I think we could say.
Yes, they are.
At the Thaiger shop.
We need to get Jet back in to sign them, because he's the difficult one. He's in Chiang Mai.
Yes.
So he can't sign them every day.
Thethaiger.com/shop, and you can buy our Thaiger shirts, our cups, mugs, the bags, and the exclusive paintings. We've only got 100 of these.
Oh.
So they're a limited edition.
Tim, we
Jay.
almost forgot. Today's March 1st. Do you know what that means?
The Ides of March, that's the 15th. No, I don't know.
The Thailand Pass.
Oh,
The
yay.
test and go.
Test and go. So,
1 day quarantine, no more day 5. Begins today, ladies and gentlemen.
So maybe you can go to the Thailand Pass website from today and apply.
Maybe.
Well, we just don't know, because
How dare you? It's
hasn't-
going to crash, most probably.
there has been some issues in the past.
Some.
So we're hoping that people can go and apply and not have to do a day 5 prepaid PCR test or accommodation. They instead have the day 5 ATK test. That's stick it up your nose.
He's clearly never done an ATK test if he
Yes.
thinks he's doing
Yes.
it like that. All right, let's take that break. We'll be back. Welcome back. You're watching Good Morning Thailand with Tim Newton and Jay.
We should clarify that as far as the Thailand Pass is concerned, the test and go, the change comes into effect from today, which gets rid of the day 5 compulsory PCR test and quarantine accommodation.
The registration begins today.
The registration opens today and we believe will be effective for arrivals from March the 7th. But if you're on the Thailand Pass website, I'm sure it will become abundantly clear. Good luck.
Carmel.
Okay, so the chairman asked if
The
there's
chairman?
any. Yes, the account name is the chairman. Really,
Right.
really fancy.
He's a member.
No, he's not a member.
He should
or
be.
she.
Or she, yes.
The question was any information on today's reopening of the Thailand Pass applications portal? Like, is it coping?
We don't know. I think they said it was going to open at 9 a.m. Thai time, so we would have no feedback on that. However, we'll certainly be doing a story later in the day and talking about how it's gone on the first day, and the Department of Foreign Affairs are usually very happy to tell us how wonderful things have gone.
The chairman is a member, Carmel. How dare you?
Oh, I'm very sorry.
Thank you, Member
There's-
Chairman. Frank Sinatra used to be known as the chairman of the board.
Oh, really?
Yes, so this new chairman has taken over the mantle.
Start spreading the news.
Okay, from Sick Puppy, any updates on the poor actress that recently passed away?
Well, that was covered by Natty on Thailand News Update this morning.
Yes. The latest information was that the police are going to use lie detectors to investigate all the people that were involved because, yes, they're speculating that it wasn't just a classic case of drowning.
Well, there's thousands of questions that everybody's asking. Everybody sort of thinks this is all slightly odd. Firstly, for a pretty lady wearing a swimsuit on a small boat, this wasn't a big boat, going to the back of the boat to relieve herself. I just don't see that happening. Unless she's in the company of very, very close friends. I mean, there's a whole lot of other questions. If you were on a boat
Yes.
and somebody fell off the boat, what would be your first reaction?
Throw a life jacket.
Throw a life jacket or the life buoy?
Yeah.
Or jump in?
Well, if
You
we're
can
if
swim?
we're moving,
Yeah.
and most probably wouldn't. I'd try to throw a life jacket, circle around, get her up, or just jump in. I can definitely swim.
Yeah, my first reaction would be to jump in.
Jump in with a life jacket.
Okay.
Otherwise, they're going to end up drowning you. Have you never done first aid safety?
Well, yeah, but I'd be quite happy just to jump in and go to the aid of the person. That would be my very first reaction. Probably not terribly sane, but that's what I would do. But these people, anyway, you know the story, and there's a lot of questions. But they're now going to use a lie detector, which I don't believe is admissible in a court case anyway.
And
I think that's a way of
Are they
frightening
allowed
them.
to? Yeah. Are they allowed to just be like, I'm going to investigate you with a lie detector? Don't they need like approvals or, I don't know, a warrant or whatever?
Well, I'm sure they can get that. They
But
may
it's
as well-
not. If it's not admissible in court, then what's the point? Just shame them in the public eye.
Well, I think they're just trying to frighten them. They may as well put electrodes on each testicle and turn up the volts. I don't know what they're going to do. Anyway,
Behind closed doors, hopefully. I hope they don't live stream it. But then again, this is Thailand.
but of course, Thais just love these sorts of mysterious stories. Particularly, there's a pretty girl involved who used to, and this emerged yesterday, it was surprising to me, she used to rent out her services as an escort, not a sexual escort, but she used to be paid to escort people to functions and dinners. Not as a sexual escort, but as
This is like a celebrity company.
Sure.
Celebrity for hire.
Why don't people pay me to go and have dinner with them?
I don't know.
I'd
Have
be-
you
I'd
made
be
your
the-
services available?
No, I'd be the worst dinner guest.
I think
I'd
you
be
really
shocking.
would.
Oh, I'd be appalled.
You'd just be complaining the whole time.
Yeah. God,
You show up in a fancy restaurant with this shirt, they're not going to let you in. Excuse me, sir, we have some rolls.
I said, don't you know who I am?
They'd be like, no, I don't.
said,
There's the door.
God, the prices are expensive here.
All right.
This is from West Texas, Greg. He said that he's still waiting to hear back on the shipping I think he got the painting. He wanted to order it.
Okay, so if West Texas Greg, is he from overseas?
Yes.
I would know. Okay, so you should have got an email from our store manager. If you haven't got an email from our store manager, then please send an email to shop@thethaiger.com and say, I'm still waiting, or here's my order, why haven't I? And you will get an immediate response. We've got problems sending stuff overseas. We acknowledge that, but we'll do it on a one-on-one basis with people, especially people like yourself. So yeah.
Who's a Thaiger member as well.
Yeah, as a Thaiger member. So if you haven't got an email yet, then please send us an email immediately, shop@thethaiger.com, and we'll get in contact with you to organise shipping.
Yes. All right.
Limited edition.
That's right. There's only 100 of them.
They could be worth millions. Maybe not, but
Yeah.
they could be.
Millions of rubles.
Yes, that won't be worth much. But yeah, limited edition, of course, they're very, very popular.
All right. We're going to end the show there. I think it's been a good show so far. So, ladies and gentlemen,
Quick while we're ahead.
Carmel's got a question, but I'm going to ignore her.
Is it a
No.
good question?
There's a very witty
Oh, it's
witty
a witty.
question.
All right,
Oh, that'd be a
fine.
nice change.
Chocolate Man is really obsessed with that plant in the middle, by the way. So he asked, will there be a poll on the removal of the plant?
Why? What's wrong with Henrietta?
Actually, like what's
That's
been
actually
happening
not
a while
Henrietta.
ago during your intense discussion, they were making a poll themselves on the chat on
Oh.
removing the plant.
There's a lot of
Hate.
hate for the plant. Why? What has the plant ever done?
Yeah.
It's adding a little green.
I think he said it's not like perfectly in the middle.
Oh, no,
So-
no.
He does that on purpose. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I
He's
want
a-
to make this clear.
He's a pedant. Oh, I'll make you eat. I'll make
No,
you
no, no.
sick. I'm going to move it to the
He
side.
does the same thing to me. I like things in line, in position. I make them beautiful. And Tim comes along and he goes, I don't like the fact that it's in the middle, and he'll just move it to the right where it's just off. It's just a trigger. And then my right eye starts to twitch because I know it's not straight. So I agree with you and I feel your pain. But he doesn't like parallel lines.
No, I like things to be a bit off centre, a bit off skew.
Like his shirt.
Yes.
All right. Now I'm going to end the show. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for
I should
watching
say,
the show.
if somebody does want to have,
I'm not going to end the show.
if somebody wants to have lunch with me
Yes.
or Jay, then
Why did you drag me into this?
we'll make ourselves available. Non-sexual services. We should
For
remind you.
1,000,000 rubles.
I'm not paying you. You're paying me, okay? And I'll have lunch with you. Somewhere nice, you know.
I'm going to ignore that and finally decide to end the show. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. If you have enjoyed the show so far, 574 people watching the show, please click the like button if you have enjoyed the show.
Clickety-click.
And thank you once again to Coffee Culture and Twin Palms Residences Montezuma for sponsoring the show. Thank you, Tim.
Thank you, Jay.
Thank you, Carmel, behind the scenes. Thank
No
you
problem.
to Noom, behind the buttons. And thank you, viewers, once again, especially members. We love you. We appreciate your support. Have a great day.